Over the last 6 years of me doing content, I've been privileged to watch something very fascinating happen. We'd go from a place in time where we'd see women on Reddit writing awful things about men, and I'd read those stories and we'd talk about it. Then it moved to mainstream news where they'd write articles like this from the New York Post. Why single men aren't approaching women anymore. I'm so sick of this, say the women. And this woman from a North Carolina model says she hasn't been on a date in a year, blames her good looks for intimidating men and preventing them from striking up a conversation with her. She says, it's difficult being this hot. The single woman told Jam Press, men think I'm too beautiful to date or worry that I'll turn them down. And I'd read this and I'd talk about how these women are crazy. But the problem is that's not at ground level. The issue is this is still at the New York Post. And of course, Reddit shut down many of the forums that were talking about women. And it kind of gets old after a while. You say, yeah, we've seen this all before. But since the advent of social media, something beautiful has happened again. These women are going direct to hundreds of thousands, and in some cases, millions of viewers spitting their venom and their awful takes on the internet. Feminists, and these women, like I'm going to show you in these upcoming videos, have gone so crazy that now people are realizing that side, the feminists, these women, the boss bee girls, all that stuff, they're nuts. I don't want to be with that side. I don't want to be associated with it. I don't agree with it. And because of that, it is making people that support our values, men, conservative men, traditional men, more people are starting to agree with us. So just by them being allowed to be crazy puts people in our camp. And it's happening more and more so. Now, many of you may argue, but I spend most of my waking hours on the internet, scouring it for various videos and various content. And I can tell you, I'm seeing it. People that would previously be hating on guys coming around saying, you know something, I think these guys are right. I think these women are crashing out. They've gone nuts. They've gone too far, and they're actually a problem for our society. Before we get into all these videos, though, let's hear from today's sponsor, Black Forest Supplements. I just found something pretty wild about stem cells today. They're like tiny repair crews in your body that go out and fix things when they need to be fixed. Joe Rogan's been ahead of this curve for a long time, and he's been talking about it for years. Check it out.
I had a full-length rotator cuff tear, and the UFC gave me a doctor in Los Angeles, and he looks at my MRI and goes, you're going to need surgery. I go, 100%? He goes, I don't know how you're using it now. It's a matter of time. You're going to need surgery, so it might be better to do it now. So I got it shot up with stem cells. And this was the early days of stem cells in America where you could get away with more. You got to go to Mexico now again.
Here's the crazy part. Most of the stem cell therapies are illegal in the United States, not because they're unsafe, not because they don't work, but because they work too well, and that's bad news for Big Pharma. If you could heal your knees, fix your back, or recover from surgery without pills, insurance, or endless doctor visits, what would happen to their profits? The FDA has blocked these treatments, and as a result, people are forced to go overseas just to get access to their own biology. And it's expensive, and it's unregulated and out of reach for most of us. Just one placenta stem cell injection can run you $50,000. I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of cash on me at this moment in time. But here's what most people don't know. There is a natural way to support your own stem cell activity, and it comes from high flavanol cocoa. Studies have shown that flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow, just like bees out of a beehive, right into your bloodstream. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check it out.
Studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it.
So, dark chocolate. But here's the thing, flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but it's usually stripped away or destroyed during the chocolate making process. Black Forest Supplements have created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body actually needs. This isn't regular cocoa, it's stem cell fuel. No sugars, 20 calories, mix it in coffee or shakes, and have at it. It tastes delicious. If you feel old, slow, or just off, lazy stem cells might be why, but this stuff, it'll flip the switch back on. Over 100% increase in stem cell circulation. For the next 48 hours, I do have 40% off on this promo. The link is in the description or pinned comment down below. Don't miss out. And now back to the regularly scheduled program, me. All right, so let's hear from our first lady of the day. She just doesn't hate on Republicans or conservatives or traditional men. She says if you're moderate or you say you don't care about politics, you're lumped in with everybody else, meaning you're either with me 100% and you support what I want, or you're out. By default, that puts you in with us, our side of normal people, which ironically is actually red pill, trad con men, guys going their own way. Our side is growing while theirs shrinks.
Break up with your Republican boyfriends. Ladies, I don't think you understand the amount of social capital that you hold. By continuing to date these Republican men or not political or didn't vote guys, you are inadvertently supporting this movement with 1, your body and your affection, and 2, not allowing these men, usually who I'm speaking on, men, to understand the consequences of their actions. They voted against you. They voted against your body. They voted against your rights. And here we are. I'm saying we because I used to be guilty of it too, supporting and getting into relationships with the people that hold these values deeply. Even if they say that they didn't vote or they're not into politics, there is no such thing anymore. Either you're about what's going on or you're vehemently against it. I just feel like I wish I could go back and tell 22-year-old me, like, it's not worth being in a relationship with someone who sees the world so differently than you, who votes against you so severely. It's never worth it.
They are forcing people to choose a side. I mean, at least when it comes to dating and relationships or even interacting with them, they are the one that is extreme, saying you're either with me 100% or I am against you 100%. And most people are, I get pushback all the time in my comments. I'm fine with it. No, you guys don't agree with me 100% of the time. We're going to have those discussions. But when somebody comes out and says, well, even if you didn't vote, that's a vote against me, it's a lost cause. And what are the odds she's going to find somebody? What are the odds? But she says, hey, break up with your man, stay single, be a feminist 100%, and don't make any changes and don't put up with it until they agree and are 100% on your side. That's not going to happen. There's not enough effeminate twinks on the left for all of you to share amongst yourselves. And if you don't believe me, listen to this next one. She's on the dating apps, and the men that she's attracted to, the men she wants to swipe on, are moderate or conservative, and that is not good enough for her. So she would rather be alone than realize her ideology is crashing out her lifestyle. It's never going to work for her.
So I'm scrolling the dating apps earlier, and for the first 20 swipes, it's conservative, moderate, apolitical, nothing, conservative, moderate. And to me, conservative, moderate, and apolitical and nothing is all the same thing. You all are MAGA.
You're all MAGA because you're against me. Now, I know this has a little bit to do with politics. I'll get into some other ones that aren't about politics. But the point stands. These women now have the mindset of everything. I am the boss. You are the follower. You will do what I want you to do, or I'm not going to date you. And here's the irony. That's a good thing. You should stay single. Go ahead and keep sleeping around, rack up your body count. You will be a crazy cat lady in no time. It's fine. But men are fine with this, or at least they're adjusting. And if men are crashing out about it, they're not going viral because nobody cares, because nobody listens to men anyway.
So immediately, no. Took me 20 swipes to finally find a liberal. I'm like, gee, what the is going on? Why is everybody MAGA? It's not that everybody's MAGA. It's that, the male loneliness epidemic. It's because nobody wants to date them. They don't make good partners. That's why there's so many single ones out there. All the liberals are taken, not all of them. Obviously, there's some out there. But, I rather have no dates than ever date a MAGA ever fucking again. So I will scroll until my fingers fall off until I can find the perfect liberal.
You hear a reoccurring sentence from all of these women. The male loneliness epidemic. It was an article I read a little while ago. And yes, there is a male loneliness epidemic. But what they don't understand is that men have choice too. And men, while they are alone and they don't wish to be, and they wish to find a woman, they're not settling down either. Now, women say they're not settling. Okay, fair enough. Men aren't settling either. And because of that, this article wrote it from a view that is critical of men. Men have a male loneliness epidemic. And what do men need to change? What do men need to do to be acceptable to women? Well, the truth is it's also the same the other way around. Women need to make themselves acceptable to men. But since no one writes from that direction, since no one publishes from that direction, at least in articles that they would deem are reasonable, they pretend it doesn't exist. She right now has a loneliness epidemic herself. But it's easier to say, well, it's men and it's men having the issues and it's men that are the problem because self-reflection is hard.
Friendly reminder, but as a woman, you're allowed to want to make your own money and also want a man's money too. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. You can call me a gold digger all you want, but the fact of the matter is men are allowed to want ambitious women with thriving careers, and somehow that's honorable, whereas a woman who wants an ambitious man with a thriving career gets called a gold digger.
Conservative men do not necessarily want women that are ambitious and make a lot of money and a thriving career. I've never dated a woman because of that. A man that says, I want a woman that has a big home and fancy cars and lots of money to take care of me, he's not conservative. He's not traditional. You're talking about probably leftists, progressive men. So the men that she's actually making fun of are the progressive ones, not conservative men. Conservative men don't want that.
Career gets called a gold digger. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again for the people in the back. Men are allowed to want everything, while women are only allowed to want what gives men the ability to control them. And there is no woman on earth easier to control than a woman who's not allowed to want a man's money because that makes her a gold digger, or a woman who wants to make her own money because that makes her a threat. So I don't care if they hate you for wanting his money or wanting to make your own. Just know that they hate you because you actually know what you're worth.
Oh, the boss bee. Know what you're worth, ladies. Well, according to at least most of these women that are demanding that we agree with everything they say and we must follow along with what they want of us, their value is zero. And if they say, well, your value, it's one of the reasons why I don't care if, I don't know, some of the people that I've made fun of write articles or do hit pieces back on me. That's the beauty of this. When you don't care what other people think of you, well, you're free. You're free to do whatever you want. These women are making these videos because either A, they do care, or B, they're crashing out and they need the support of other women saying, you go, girl, and yay, queen, and I agree with you 100%. They need that validation. Otherwise, if they say this and no one around them agrees with them, they can't handle it. There's no way they can handle it.
Men are not lonely enough, okay? Male loneliness epidemic, y'all brought it on yourselves.
You see how they keep bringing up the same headline from the same article? What's so confusing is these women are complaining by blaming the men that are part of the male loneliness epidemic. We're not dating. You wouldn't have anything to do with us in the first place. How is it any of these men have anything to do with what's going on in your life? The truth is we have zero impact. These women don't date most of these guys. They don't even see the ones that are actually the true lonely males because we don't exist to them.
Who is the one that set up these systems? Who is the one that set up those systems? Please, let me know, because last time I checked, it was men, and yet y'all still have the audacity to hold the mic and say shit like that. Ah! See, this is why most women who are educated, who know their worth, are gonna end up being single because y'all don't deserve us.
Well, the systems we set up originally worked brilliantly. It worked right up until the 60s when we decided to give women the pill. It worked right up until women decided to join the labor force. Women decided to delete, I don't know how many millions of children now at this point. The system when we had it set up was great. Now that you're in the system and you're mucking about, now it's crashing. Now that you want to control things and you want to change things, now's when it's actually crashing. Same thing, same story, different face.
Boys are afraid of commitment because they have nothing to offer. Boys are afraid of commitment because they have nothing to offer. You're welcome. Boys are afraid of commitment.
And she just repeats it.
Because they have nothing to offer.
Boys are afraid of commitment because we have nothing to offer. Okay. Aren't you happy about that then? Notice almost all these women have nose rings, by the way. Nose ring, the biggest sign you can tell a woman is going to be trouble. Okay, well, if a guy has nothing to offer and he's afraid of commitment, you should thank him for that. You should say, thank you for being afraid of commitment. Thank you for not trying to commit to me because you have nothing to offer. Here's a question. Why are you dating him? Why are you sleeping with him? Why do you care? Why don't you just find a guy that has something to offer? I'll tell you why. Because he's not dating you. He's not committing to you. He's just hooking up and having fun. And you can't stand it. I've only got a couple more that we'll go through here, but all of these videos I found in the last 3 days, and there were probably half a dozen more, maybe a dozen more that I found. I could play 10 to 20 or 30 of these a day that are going viral on social media. This isn't just a small number. I could make this into a 3-hour show and just show video after video after video. It is rampant. And I still firmly believe this is making a culture shift. I think even the normies at this point see what's going on when it comes to dating and relationships.
The male loneliness epidemic is not real. There's a male loser epidemic, but there's not a male loneliness epidemic. They are just so fucking miserable and draining to be around, and then they're like, why don't girls want to date us? It's because you fucking suck. No one wants to hang out with you.
You get it. I'm just going to rattle through the last couple.
Men are naturally supposed to submit to women, period, point blank. Men like hierarchy. That's why they're in the military. That's why they like boy groups, etc., etc. Okay? If you're not his boss, he assumes the boss position. That cannot be. That means you need to tap into your dark feminine. How do you tap into your dark feminine? You know damn well that you're the boss and nobody's above you ever under any circumstance. A man has come out of a woman and will always want to go back inside a woman. So you're always in charge, meaning that he always submits to you. He follows your lead if he wants back in. Do you understand? You can end lineages. That's your power. So fucking sit in it and stop fucking pretending that you're a little girl who doesn't have it. I'm tired of your shit. I'm gonna call you out. Get it together, ladies.
My question is, who are you to judge anyone? And notice almost every one of them does the duck hand. Every single one of them does the little, I'm telling you, quack, quack, quack. Who cares? Genuine question. Who cares what she thinks? Who cares who you're calling out? You have nothing to offer. You're young, you're unmarried, you probably have a high body count, and you're obviously a very angry, bitter, entitled person. What's interesting, if you listen to this and just pretend somebody like myself or Andrew Tate were saying this, if I said you must be in charge all times, do not put up with them. The minute they have control, it is so hard for you to get back control. They'd be writing an article about it in the New York Post about the misogynist me or the misogynist Andrew Tate. If this were coming out of a man's mouth, they call for cancellation, try to remove them off social media. When a woman does it, it's not a question. It's not even looked at as odd. That's how strong the feminization of society has come, to where when women talk like this, it's, well, that's just her opinion. But if I were to talk like this, I'd get removed from platforms for it.
You do not, under any circumstances, go under him. You never ever submit to him. Period, point blank. Do you understand? If you do that, it's going to be very hard to get out of that position when you're not in your power. You give out commands, okay? When he comes to you, your energy needs to speak that you are the boss. The way that your energy speaks is when that man comes up to you, is he asking how to serve you? Is he asking, what is it that I can do for you? How can I help you? How can I assist you? That means you're leading. That means you're in the right space. That means you are in your feminine energy, right? If you're not, then you're the one that's asking him what you can do for him. That is not how it goes. He serves you. You don't serve him. When you serve him, he assumes now he's the boss. Now you got a problem on your hands. I warned you. You never ever under any circumstances lack discipline. You run the show, not him.
Will she ever find a man? Will she ever find somebody to put up with her so she can be in a healthy relationship? No, obviously not. She never will. And I don't know how many views or how many likes or anything this has, but I can tell you now, anybody that listens and says, yeah, that's the way to go, it's not going to get you anywhere. Now, if she were to come out and say, I don't have any intentions of being with somebody, I have no plans to date or marry or have children, fine, think like this. If you want to have some sort of relationship where you try to find a guy and casually date and you want to treat him something awful like this, that's fine. This sounds very reminiscent of some of the things Andrew Tate gets hate for. You know, Andrew Tate says, hey, you got to be a man, you got to lead the woman, you got to lead the relationship, you need to be in charge. He's been kicked out of countries and been called out to be put under arrest for saying stuff like this. Yet this woman can say it. It's fine. It's fine. But these are the ones that are going viral. So they may have one Andrew Tate to hate on or one whoever, a small voice here or there. But on the women's side, there are tens of hundreds of millions, thousands, millions of these women talking trash like this. And they're allowed to do it, and no one pushes back. They're ultimately going to be the ones that really red pill society, I think. It won't be people like me or you. It'll be women like this that finally reach through to the normies.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him, if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure it out. But I am not going to cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, I'm doing scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, I'm sorry. That's too much work for me. I'm not going to do it. So my husband decided to drain our joint bank account and leave me after so much controversy on my videos. I guess he got, wind of the videos, and yeah, he drained our bank account, and he has told me that I have to leave. At first, I thought he was the one that's going to be gone and that I was going to be able to stay here, but he returned and he said that I need to pack up my things and go. I told him absolutely not, because I have children and me and my children are not going to be in the street. So I told him that he has to evict me. And the one that gave him this idea of leaving me was his birth giver. Yes. His mother was the one that gave him the grand idea to leave me.
You know what I find interesting? The term that she uses, my children, I have children. Are they not the guy's children? Is he not the father of the kids? If he is, you can see how she feels about him. If he's not, well, he shouldn't be a stepdad. Speaking of crashing out, this is from Andrew Tate. He just posted this August 16th, so 2 days ago. He says, hanging around with hot women was cool 10 years ago because the majority didn't understand that all women were professionals, ladies of the night. Then a couple crypto nerds got rich and are rolling with 25 baddies, and it finally clicked. You just have to give them money. Between Instagram and cash thirst, every girl is perfectly prepared to be seen with anyone for cash. There's no game, there's no red pill, there's nothing left of love and romance. There's only rich men and poor men. Even he's saying, look, man, there's no game, there's no red pill. You just need to be money. You just need to have money. You need to be tall. You need to be muscular. You need to have money. Now, maybe he's kind of crashing out because I think the government's taken and seized most of his assets, and maybe he doesn't have as much money as he once had. Maybe he's finding out without that money he's not as popular as he thought he was. I don't know. But when you even start having him saying, man, the dating market's messed up, women are messed up. I mean, he's definitely kind of messed up when it comes to some things. Maybe the whole thing's just falling apart. Maybe it is. I don't know. I know they're crashing out. I know the women are no better than the men they hate. But I think men are slowly adjusting and being okay with it. I think men get it. I think men are going to be okay. The women, though, they're crashing out. And because they're on social media, everybody else sees the crash out. They see their insane demands. They see how insufferable and awful they are. And I think more people are going to start saying, yeah, these red pill guys are right. Matter of fact, I've heard Matt Walsh say it before. And now, of course, Steven Crowder even says it. Yeah, the red pill guys do have They do have some legitimacy when it comes to women's insufferable demands and what it's like to try to date a woman. Maybe they do have something right about it. When the normies start seeing how crazy it is out there and they're starting to say, yeah, maybe you guys are onto something, I think there's going to be some red pilling of society. But ironically, it's not us that's doing it. It's these crazy women that are changing everybody's minds. Guys, if you like my work, make sure to join us over at betterbachelor.locals.com. Great community guys over there. It's behind a little bit of a paywall, just a couple of bucks. Put you over there. You can lock yourself away behind the paywall with us so we don't have any bots. And it's real people, real community talking about real issues, real problems, real solutions. Great group of guys over there. We have lots of one-off live streams that we do. And it's a good time. I think you'll like it. Again, come on over, check it out. It's free to snoop around. And then if you want to join up, give us a couple bucks, put yourself behind the paywall, and check it out. I think you'll be glad you did. And I'll see you guys in the next one.